Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come here first to quench your thirst. I'm Brooke, and I'm passionate about pop culture. And Jack, do you see that thing behind you? I think it might be some semblance of a format.
Like the most basic possible format.
I don't care if it's basic, it's a format.
Yeah, but if your format is established to 4 episodes out of your 6 episodes, is it really a format or just a trend?
You know, Jack, that's a good question. But yeah, welcome to Guts and Glory coverage here on the Cup TV. Yay. While we're here, go ahead and get your Cup merch and other assorted Cup things. Yeah. Including the
My name is Jack. I'm the resident game designer of the panel. Do I look like a wreck? Yes. Is it because I've been in basically across the country for 7 days helping film something? Absolutely. But do you know what's scarier than that? A show that has no idea what it's fucking doing. Anyway, I don't have my cup mug on me because it's in the washing machine.
It's fine.
We're doing great today. I have some lovely apple cider. So
yeah, I just finished a milkshake myself. So we're on to episode 4 of Guts and Glory. We only got 2 to go, thank God. And
I can't wait for the maybe 2 challenges that we'll have. Maybe.
Okay, so last we left off, we had just lost Brian and Alexis. Miss you, Brian. Go away, Alexis. And then Lucian just killed for reasons.
Yep.
I don't understand the point of this.
The point of
to
what
be honest,
specifically?
Lucian, I don't get it. I know we talked about it last week, but just to reiterate, there was no reason for that. If they were just going to kill the bottom 3, just say the bottom 3 are all getting killed and that's it.
Brooke, I'm going to tell you my theory has evolved. I think that 3 plants were put into the season and will die at specific points to make basically heightened tension.
Well, I will say, I personally think that in episode 2, they were planning on killing Brian, and then they realized how absolutely bullshit it would be to kill Brian. So they decided to just scrap the episode 2 elimination, because what was the point in having that entire challenge? And then because they had an extra person, they had to kill 3 people in episode 3 instead of 2.
Honestly, my thought potentially, and maybe something was miscommunicated, maybe one of the plants was supposed to die in episode 2, and they would essentially find them in episode 3. There's something weird with it. I don't know what it was. I think behind the scenes, something went wrong where someone grabbed a tag and it's like, well, we can't undo that. So we're just going to skip it and pray that things work out. And basically it did, because Brian goes home anyway. Mm-hmm. So they could have killed him off in that episode and then just had a bottom 2 kill off Alexis, and then Lucian dies anyway because he's a plant. So, I mean, yeah, no, it's strange.
Yeah, I don't know. But beside the point, we're here with our final 6. And we're back in the woods. Who's surprised by that? It's not like we've been there for half the episodes. No, not at all.
It is strange how we've had so we have Geek Camping Woods, we have a hospital, we have a junkyard, we have the woods again. Did you only have 3 locations?
Not to
You
mention
couldn't have come up with a fourth?
Not to mention the junkyard was in the woods, but that's beside the point. So we're in the woods again, and I will say this is the most Blair Witchy feeling episode they've had so far. So I give them props for that.
Yes.
So the competitors roll up in the bus. I don't know who's driving it now because it's not Brett. As a friendly reminder, bus driver Brett Rip. But they roll up and they see a bunch of graves with a few coffins. It does seem like they put more coffins out than needed for the challenge, but sure. So the players are put into pairs, not randomly, just put into pairs. This bugged me a bit. I don't know why they were put into pairs like that. Yeah, because
Brooke, I have a theory.
Challenge. What was that?
I have a theory. We'll get to it when we actually see why I have that theory. But I think it was randomization between two groups of pairings, and then one group of two plants still in this game somehow, who will be killed off to raise tension. Which, just to be clear, will make this a group of 6 actual players and,
4 actual players.
Yeah, 6 players and 4 plants. Or something.
2 plants and 4 players.
Yeah.
Out of the 6 that and I know who you're talking about too. So the way this worked was pretty simple. Each pair, one of them would be going inside of a coffin, and the other person would have to find 17 bones, including a rib cage, which is quite a few bones, if I'm not mistaken. 17 bones and or bone pieces, and put them together on a skeleton after freeing their partner from the coffin. So they find the 17 bones, they get their partner out of their coffin, they then piece this skeleton together with how do they describe it? Square and peg locks. They then wrap the skeleton up, carry it to the coffin that their partner was in, put the skeleton in the coffin, and their team is safe. The last team to finish will be eliminated. What is this, a format? A reasonable, actual, easy to follow format?
Yeah, it's okay, so the premise of this show is that last place in a challenge goes home.
So where's surviving?
Don't question it. They just mentioned the first thing they could think of for reality TV. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Big Brother reindeer games.
See, but that's too niche. If you pitch that to Shudder, you'll have to explain Big Brother reindeer games, and that will hurt them.
Sure. The challenge. Because that's what this is. The pairs are Josh and Julia. Julia is not very happy about being paired with Josh. Colby and Michaela, who are pretty happy to be with each other, it seems. And Brady and Dewan, with Dewan calling Brady a dumb blonde. We'll see how that ages as we move through this episode. So they then reach into a bag. There is a short bone and a long bone in the bag. That's not how you draw things out of a bag. Because the whole point of drawing something out of a bag is that you can't tell which things are what in the bag, and these bones are very clearly different lengths. So if you don't want to go on the coffin and you're drawing first, you just draw the long bone and you're fine. This is where you would put 2 pieces of paper or something like that, or 2 chips in a bag. And then you draw for the chips, and then whoever draws the black chip is the one that's going in the coffin or whatever. You're putting the things that when you draw something out of a bag, it needs to be physically similar so that way you can't just know.
I mean, it was so easy to just do like a bone that's clean and a bone that's dirty, and the dirty bone goes in the coffin. I understand the joke that they're making, but like, you had one job, and that was to make two things in a bag indistinguishable.
Well, also, I get the idea of like drawing before someone mentions it, talking about like drawing matches or something like that. Yeah, those aren't put in a bag. The person that you draw the matches out of, they hold it in their hand so that way you can't tell which match is which when you're drawing. Like they're intentionally covered up, but not covered up to all you see is the end poking out. So when you pull it out, you don't know how long the stick is. Here, you can reach around that bag, fully grope a bone, figure out if it's longer or shorter than the other bone, and pick the one you want. But here we are. So, Josh, Michaela, and Brady end up drawing the short bones, and they are put inside the caskets, while Julia, Colby, and Juan go rooting around the dirt for these bones and a rib cage, which is not just one bone, it is several bones. So, Jack, I gotta ask, how entertaining did you find this challenge?
Seeing how this is honestly the most full-fledged challenge they've done, I will say this has been a highlight compared to essentially a lucky draw and walking forward. This is going up in terms of actual intrigue for challenges. Besides the one thing that we will get to, because I feel like someone was blatantly grave robbed this episode in terms of they did nothing wrong and went home. And I think thank you. I'm trying. I'm so fucking trying.
That was so good. You did great. You did great, Ben.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of actual challenges, this is good. If we kept this kind of like general energy and this kind of general effort for all of the other challenges, I think I really would have liked this series more.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is like a Big Brother veto kind of challenge.
Yeah.
Like this entire thing is a veto competition. And like that's good. The other ones are night one competitions.
Yeah. My personal favorite thing about this episode was just the aesthetic of these people digging in the dirt. And we get the GoPro shots inside the caskets of the people in the caskets freaking out because, oh my God, we're buried alive. Not even in the ground. You are literally on top of the ground in a box. It's not that bad. You want to talk about buried alive? Go watch several different shows for that. It ain't this one. So the really funny thing is that people are dogging on Josh and Julia before the challenge starts, saying that Josh is slow in more ways than one, which I found really rude. And that Julia's not exactly physical either. So they think they're just going to be screwed and go home.
Almost none of these comments are actually justified because we don't know anything. It's like, yeah, we've never seen Josh compete in anything physical because the only thing he's ever had to do is predict a weight correctly.
Well, I mean, we know that Josh did well in the first challenge with the cryptid. But to be fair, he wasn't good at the searching part. He was good at the cryptid part. When it comes to the searching part, he didn't do very well. I think Josh and Julia got kind of, I don't want to say lucked out, but I think they got a boost by Julia being the digger here. Compared to Colby and Michaela, where I think Michaela would have dug 10 times faster than Colby. And honestly, same with Brady and Dewan. I think they really got screwed because Dewan, oh dear Lord, Dewan, he was struggling with this challenge.
Yeah, he was like struggling to get bones out of the ground and then struggling to find Brady and then struggling to put the bones together and then struggling to count to 17.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So they get told specifically they need to find 17 bones while they're digging. Note, it's 16 plus a rib cage. And I'm sorry, I will not let them get over that one. A rib cage is like
granted, hands and feet also have a fuck ton of bones.
Yeah, so, it's 17 segments of a skeleton. Let's put it that way. But yeah. So they get told they have to find 17 pieces of a skeleton in this digging, right? Julia finishes significantly before Colby or Dewan. She's done really fast. She goes and grabs Josh. They start working on their skeleton. About halfway through that, Colby finishes, opens the wrong casket at first and accidentally opens Brady's casket. Then he goes and opens Michaela's. So Colby and Michaela are going. They're moving relatively fast as well. Brady and Dewan, on the other hand, Dewan takes his time in more ways than one. Mm-hmm. They finally go and get Brady. By this point, Josh and Julia are literally about to move their skeleton. So I will go ahead and say Josh and Julia won this challenge very easily. We'll talk about what happened after they won in just a second. I want to get through the challenge and we'll talk about spooky stuff. So Josh and Julia win this challenge pretty handily. And then it seems like Brady and Dewan are putting the skeleton together really fast. Brady's like hooking these pieces in really quick. Dewan is there, kind of helping.
Basically, he's there.
He's there. And Michaela, as a friendly reminder, Michaela's a nurse, so I know she took anatomy. She's not doing as good as Brady is here. And then Colby realizes he left a bone back at the dig site. So Colby has to go run and go find a hand in the dirt. And as a viewer, I was quite excited by this twist because I thought, oh, Brady and Dewan are about to like sneak through and advance. And then Brady and Dewan realized that Dewan also forgot to grab one of the hands out of the dirt. And Dewan now has to go back and grab a hand as well. Can I just say, I understand forgetting a bone and maybe like in the moment you forget where you're at counting. Okay, cool. Do you not realize you've only grabbed one hand? Like, I feel like if it's a bone that I know has a natural pair, that maybe I would just be like, it's a hand. I've only found one of those. Maybe that's just me.
I have a theory about that, and it pertains to the other thing we'll talk about. So I'll talk about it then. But it is oddly suspicious that both of them forgot a hand. Like, if one of them forgot a random other bone, totally understandable. Both of them forgot the thing other than feet that have two notable things on the human body. Huh.
Yeah, it was really interesting for me because Colby takes his time finding this hand. Like, it's not like it's just sitting on the ground or it like fell out of the bag or something. He has to find it. But by the time they realize that Brady and Dewan also left a hand, Colby's almost back. Like, he's coming up the hill as they realize they forgot a hand. So Dewan bolts. He's trying. He's searching his best. I admire Brady here for still taking the time while Dewan is doing this to put together the rest of the skeleton, because she can't go help him. She has to stay at the table, but Brady's still putting these pieces together. And by the time Dewan gets back, Brady only has to hook on the feet and the hands left on the skeleton. So Brady did a very good job in this challenge. However, by the time Dewan gets back, Colby and Michaela are moving their skeleton, and it's just too late. Colby and Michaela make it through this challenge, and through no fault of her own, Brady is eliminated with Dewan here.
Yeah.
Justice for Brady. Oh my, she did.
Literally, she was locked in a coffin, unable to do anything, as her partner first can't manage to get all of the bones together. And then eventually, when she's released from said coffin, her partner still doesn't have all the bones together, so he has to run back. And at that point, like, Brady is the one assembling this skeleton that they bought from Home Depot for $30. And, like, literally, Brady did nothing wrong, and Brady goes out because production assigned her Dewan as a partner. That's gotta hurt.
I just feel bad for Brady here. Because every single thing bad that happened in their partnership was Dewan's fault in this episode. Like, all of it. Dewan was the last person to finish digging. Dewan left a bone. Dewan didn't help at all putting the skeleton together. Brady is doing her absolute best to carry this man on her back. But unfortunately, when he's responsible for, I'll say, at least 65 to 70% of this challenge, there's nothing she can do about it because Dewan has to carry his weight too. And I'll say with Colby and Michaela, had Dewan not left that bone, I think Brady and Dewan would have won this challenge and Colby and Michaela would have been eliminated. But as a result of Dewan screwing up, we lose Brady in a way that I really don't feel like is fair to her. But I mean, wouldn't be the first time it's happened on a show like this. And specifically talking about the challenge here, I've seen partnerships go to the elimination rounds in the challenge and they do nothing wrong and they get eliminated. So, I mean, here we are.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate, especially when, with the challenge specifically. There are multiple challenges to where the other member of that duo could have done something to at least give them a better shot of not being eliminated. Or they could have talked to people to make social decisions to not be eliminated. Here, Brady gets partnered with Dewan, is locked in a coffin, gets out of the coffin, realizes her partner is screwed up twice, and then goes home.
Yeah.
Where the challenge at least goes a little bit of flack, like, there's nothing Brady could have done.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the Battle of the Blocks from Big Brother. Like, I'm specifically thinking of, like, the champagne swings in Big Brother 16.
Yeah.
Like, Pow Pow could not move that damn swing, and there was nothing Donnie could do about it. Like, they were screwed.
Yeah.
And they knew they were screwed. They couldn't move. Or was it Brittany? I don't know. Whoever was with Pow Pow, she couldn't swing. And
I think Donnie, but
I think it was Donnie. But beside the point, it's unfortunate for Brady and Dewan, specifically Brady here, but they are eliminated as we head into the semifinals. Now, importantly, like we mentioned, there was some spooky stuff that happened during this episode. Specifically, Josh, like, briefly transports to a different area or, like, a different time of bones on top of a small grave, and when he goes to touch them, he, like, flashes back to the present. I'm confused, but sure.
The issue now is that, okay, Julia's had a lot of screen time, but, like, it's not really been much about her. It's been mainly about commenting on other plants. And Josh has been a main storyteller of the season. But now that I've seen this, I literally don't know if he can win. Is he a plant? Did they film this afterwards? I can't tell if that line was 80 yard in. Like, simply put, now I'm like, okay, are there actually only 2 competitors left in the game? And because we see in the preview, next episode, doing something wrong will have deadly consequences. Is Josh going to be forced to lock in with a wrong answer and die? Because unfortunately, I can't trust who's actually playing this game.
Well, let's talk about the people who have been in these, like, I'm going to say acted scenes, because very clearly Josh, this isn't like a natural reaction to something that happened to Josh. Like, this is very clearly a staged scene, in the same way that Julia finding Julian's body in episode 1 was also very clearly a staged scene. I don't know if that was something that they agreed to do as part of their contracts, but it is interesting to see that the two people who have had scenes like that are in the Final Four. So
I didn't even clock that.
Yeah, it does make me. Yeah, it does make me think that maybe Josh and Julia. I don't want to say plant, but because I don't think I would call them planted players in the way of like you're planted to do this. I think maybe they're just part of the story that they're trying to tell, and certain people were brought on the show to be real competitors, and then other people like Julian, I'll say like Lucian, maybe even weren't, and they were brought here to help elevate the story that they're trying to go with as the competition continues. It does make me wonder if Josh and Julia are part of that or not, or if maybe it was just part of the show, and like they agreed when they signed these contracts that occasionally we're going to have you act out a couple of things to help increase the drama a little bit. Julia's scene, I think, increases the drama a lot more than Josh's did in this episode, because someone has to find Julian in order for it to be dramatic and like, oh my God, Julian's dead. But like, would they not want the entire cast to do it? It's interesting. We'll see. I am curious to see where we go as we move into the last 2 episodes. We also get a bit of a jump scare at the end with whoever is. It seems to be the person who's the big bad in the next episode.
Yeah. So. Which is Julian again, maybe? Like, it's unclear.
Yeah.
I will note the last thing, and I think what alerted me specifically to the fact that I'm pretty sure that basically the only players left are Colby and Michaela. Besides the obvious, like, scripted scenes that we've already seen at this point. And I even questioned, like, why is Julia doing this specifically? Like, there's no one. Why her? It is strange how both teams managed to miss the same thing. My thought is that production did not put down the bones until they were gone in order to force that and then have Josh and Julia pass through. Because if Josh and Julia die, then we can't ever get their actual eliminations. Well, their actual deaths on the show. So there has to be a way that both teams need to screw up and let them easily pass, and also for Josh and Julie to end up in first. This is the way they did it.
Yeah.
And I would only claim a reality TV show is rigged if I couldn't trust it. So
yeah. I mean, okay, look. Let's talk about Guts and Glory real quick. In the way of like, we know that at least one person was brought on this show to die in Julian, right? That is
objectively true.
Objectively, it has to be the case. Lucian, I don't know if that was the case or not. I'm more inclined to think that maybe that he was going to die, and they decided to just, instead of making it just he gets eliminated with Brian and Alexis, we're gonna ratchet it up a little bit and have him get murdered, because we never even see his body. He just kind of gets dragged off screen and dies. So we don't really know there. What we can say though is we have had 2 acted out scenes on the show by people that are still in the game, and they are Josh and Julia. And I want to note that Josh won the weighing challenge, which is very easy to rig, right? In the way of like, whoever we want to win this challenge, we can just say that was the weight. Oh my Lord, that's why no one went home.
Josh saved Julia. Josh saved Julia as well.
And then Josh saved Julia in the last episode.
No, because that's how they protected them. They didn't need to waste shit. Oh my God, no, you're right. No, this entire time, Josh and Julia are not playing the game. They gave Josh the money. Oh my God, this feels like a conspiracy theory, because now I can see them planting it throughout. Josh wins the round 2 challenge. Therefore, he can save himself and Julia, who aren't planned to die until later, in round 3. Then we have Lucian throw him into the bottom because that is his time to die anyway. Also, we're canceling round 2's elimination because we can't actually have Julian die. And then now round 4, we just need to somehow pass Josh and Julia through the next round. Oh, for some reason, the 2-player teams just forget something, even though there's 17 bones, and somehow you both forgot the same hand. It all lines up in a way that feels planned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about it here, too. Other than the first episode, Josh and Julia have really felt entangled the entire time.
Yes.
And we talked about episode 2, right? I think that might be why Brian didn't go home, was because it didn't matter what they picked. They needed a reason for Josh to be able to give someone safety in episode 3. And by someone, I mean specifically Julia. So if the case here was Josh has to give Julia safety, it's interesting. And I definitely could see it happening. We shall see where we go. And okay, assuming that all 4 of them are actual players for a second, even if we cannot assume that.
Even if we do believe otherwise, assuming that's true.
Assuming that's true, who would you like to win the game at this point, Jack? Or game?
I think that Colby has had a very dominating presence over the challenges in this game. And I think that he would be a very worthy competitor to win it all.
Yeah. If all of these people are actual contestants and none of them are production plants, and this is just a big series of coincidences with Josh and Julia, I would like it to be Josh just because he's been the most entertaining out of the 4 of them. Yeah. If that's not the case and it's between the Colby and Michaela, I would much prefer Michaela. Colby has gotten on my damn nerves over and over and over again. I just don't care for him. I'll be honest. Like as a edited character on a TV show, I don't care for Colby. It would just mean I think Michaela's just been, and also Michaela has done pretty damn good across the board in these challenges as well. We know that she was one of the winners of the last challenge. We know that she did really well in the whole medical episode as well. It would be nice to see Michaela do well, I think. But regardless, y'all, let us know down below. Are Josh and Julia production plants? Do you think that Josh and Julia are plan to die at the next episode? Jack, let me ask you, how many people do you think are dying in the next episode? 2?
We've seen a consistent trend of 2 people going home, and a final 2 of players feels really satisfying for a conclusion. So I'm also going to say 2.
All right, I would agree with 2. I think it just makes sense to have a final 2 for a finale, like a final showdown. Yeah, let us know next time. We're going to be in a barn with some runes on the door. Very Blair Witch. That was a funny joke. It's not very Blair Witch at all. But until then, it's more Texas Chainsaw-y.
It's more Texas Chainsaw mixed with, like, honestly, Hell House.
A little bit, yeah.
Which, if you want to watch the new Hell House, you can go on Shudder to see it now. I'll take that $100 check.
I was about to say you're welcome for the promo Shudder. But until then, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week to talk about episode 5, and then the week after to talk about the finale of Guts and Glory. So keep your eyes open for that. And also, as on date of filming, happy Halloween, everybody. We hope you guys have happy Halloween. Make sure that you can act like Yuri.
Okay. I'm not getting murdered.
And I hope you guys have a great day, everybody. Make sure you check out our audio podcast links below, our links to our other channels, including the Cup Pod and the Cup ESC. And we will see you next time, everybody. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.